universality is essential to the web. If it loses its power if you are unable to connect to certain types of things. These words were said by the creator of the internet, Tim Berners-Lee. The rate at which the world is changing truly becomes apparent when the very creator of this innovative concept worries for the loss of its designed intention. Because of this, a neutral net should be protected for three main reasons. One, net neutrality protects the underdog. Two, net neutrality protects the consumer. And three, net neutrality protects the internet. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to forget the little things and the little people. This has the possibility of happening even in the virtual world, which connects me to my first point. Net neutrality protects the underdog. Michael Saclow, professor at the University of Maine, advocates the use of net neutrality because it provides for a level playing field and it gives even the smallest organization the ability to have its voice heard at the same volume as large corporations. Without net neutrality, providers are able to charge websites for faster services. This crushes innovation and competition because small organizations do not have the same financial abilities to meet the same monetary demands as larger, more well-established corporations do. An example of an organization that would benefit from net neutrality is a nonprofit organization. Vincent Steele, a columnist at the Chronicle of Philanthropy, advocates the use of net neutrality for nonprofits because it allows them to communicate with supporters and thus generate financial support and allows them to eventually create influential programs. Because of the small businesses' heightened focus on the individual, a neutral net also extends into the protection of the consumer. Unhindered access to consumers or to new content and ideas is protected by net neutrality. However, as Michael Saclow tells us, without net neutrality, those big companies who are willing to pay larger fees are channeled into what's called the fast lane, while those who are unwilling or unable to pay these fees are forced to receive slower service. Due to the slower service, consumers are less willing to visit these sites and thus begin to buy into the information provided by the larger companies. Marguerite Reardon, senior writer at one of the top technological online sources, CNET, states that having large internet providers control what may and may not be searched for and seen on the internet completely goes against the common interest of the consumer. Denying what the consumer and the small business can see on the internet is one more reason why a neutral net should be protected, because it turns into protecting the internet, which is my third point. And net neutrality protects the purpose of the internet. Providers shouldn't be able to control what may or not be seen on the internet because it essentially prioritizes the web. In an article by Alan Jack, a columnist of the communications of the ACM, he explains to us the extent of which providers would be able to control the internet by illustrating the fact that an AT&T customer whose monthly bill goes towards the support of something like the Wall Street Journal, they would be unable to see information posted by sources such as USA Today or other online publications. Restriction of this information gathering directly counters the original purpose of the internet, which has thrived under net neutrality for years, allowing for the production of things such as Google, Facebook, and ultimately instant messaging. The freedom and innovation is the purpose of the internet. And the protection of net neutrality in the internet ultimately benefits the overall well-being of the underdog and small business, the consumer, and the purpose of the internet. As internet creator Tim Berners-Lee said, universality is essential to the web. It loses its power if there are certain types of things to which you cannot connect. Without freedom, there is no purpose to the internet, and thus a neutral net should be protected for three main reasons. One, it protects the underdog. Two, it protects the consumer. And three, it protects the initial purpose of the internet.